Story 1. AITA 18F for disliking my BFs. 18M, mother. Hey, for some context, me and my boyfriend have been together for nearly 3 years. I will do fake names, so my boyfriend's name is Hunter and his mother's name is Mia. We started dating when Hunter was 15 and I was 16. We are both now 18. When me and Hunter first started dating, for the first 3 months I never had any issues with his mother. We would talk normally and everything was okay. After 3 months I went to meet up with Hunter and we smoked W33D. That was our first and last time we did. We went back to his house after that, and his mom had a rule that she always used to have where I had to keep my bag downstairs, and I thought nothing of it, so I did. My bag had everything. Me and Hunter were in his room and she came up and had a go at me and him because she had searched my bag, which I had later found out she did it regularly even when nothing but school books were in there. I was sent home, which is fair. I had done something wrong and I own up to it. I then found out she goes through my bag because she thinks I steal her alcohol. I have never touched her alcohol or stolen from her ever. I was allowed back to the house after that. There was some tension but nothing bad. I had started and still do leave my bag in his room now, even though I have nothing to hide because it was an invasion of privacy. About another 3 months later, Hunter, his older brother and his mom went on a holiday for a month, and when they got back, Hunter and I were having some issues, not related to his mom, and decided to take a break. When we got back together, I was not allowed over to her house for nearly a whole year. She knew we were back together the whole time. Whenever my boyfriend brought up me coming over, she would instantly shut him down, and he couldn't come to mine due to severe allergies to my pets. Me and my boyfriend would only hang out at shopping centers and school throughout that period of time. During a school event, I didn't greet his mother because of me not being allowed over to his house for literally an unknown reason. She then made my boyfriend take a photo with his ex and only did it when I was watching from a distance. I found out she posted something that made them look like they were dating. Hunter was not allowed to any of my family events until about a year and a half into our relationship. When I started going over to his house again, it was very awkward and still is to this day. I tried not to worry too much about his mom because I thought when we both are 18 things would be different, but I was so wrong. After Hunter's 18th birthday, I was finally allowed to sleep over the night, and to be honest, it was a good night with his mom and his family. I thought that there was progress. I started bringing Hunter to my house as well because we found a way past his allergies. After his birthday, maybe about 3 weeks later, I overheard his mom say to Hunter he needs to rethink his decisions with me because I was talking to Hunter about me going on youth allowance whilst I do a course in the future and many other rude comments about me. Hunter started going around to my house quite often, which started about 2 months ago. He used to be more at mine than he was at home. Every time he would go home, she would accuse him of being on Dr**GS when I don't do them, besides that one time nearly 3 years ago. He often gets calls saying how she hates that he's at mine and sometimes thinking he has died because he didn't text her for a day and like being serious as well. Hunter's mom had been pushing him to get a full-time job so that he could start seeing me less, which he got, and she gets very angry at him when he wants to come over to mine for a few hours after work. She often bad-mouths me and sometimes makes sneaky disrespectful remarks to my face about me. She has no relationship with my mother because she refuses to meet my mom. Hunter has tried to get her to meet my mom many times and it's always been shut down, and says bad stuff about my mom to Hunter, who she has never really met. When she used to pick him up, she refused to come in the house nor let my mom in her house to meet. She has been sort of nice to me now, but sometimes a bit disrespectful, but I am finding it hard to build a relationship with her because of all the things she has done throughout me and Hunter's relationship. She calls my family broke because we don't have as much money as her. There is a ton more stuff and I'm happy to answer questions in the comments. I just don't know how to move forward with her. ATM, sorry this is so long. Story 2. My mom keeps my disabled brother's disability check. My brother, 38M, has a learning disability for which he receives a monthly SSI check for. However, my mom, 54F, keeps all of it and says it is for bills. The issue here is, she's constantly ignoring his needs. My brother doesn't shower daily because he needs someone to remind him, and she does not do that. She will say things like, he's a grown man, he needs to know to do that. But she's never actually taught him how to do basic life things such as cleaning, cooking, hygiene, etc. When I talk to my brother, I can have a full-fledged conversation with him and understand him just fine. When he tries to talk to her about his feelings or what he needs, she shuts him out by saying things like, I'm not trying to hear this right now. He called me today and was so upset because she commented on his dirty-looking pants. In my opinion, that sounds like a failure on her end. Why hasn't she taught him how to do laundry yet? Instead, he got embarrassed and called me. He tried to explain that he just dropped soda and she said she wasn't trying to hear it. He then told me he can't wait until the 1st so he can get some money from her so he can get out the house a bit. My curiosity made me ask him how much did she give him this month. He said $10. Do you know how pissed I am about this? I asked him what was the most she's given him. He said $40. I don't know how much he receives each month, but I feel like I faintly remember a long time ago my mother saying she received $1,200 for him each month. I can't be sure. But why it pisses me off is because she does not work. She quit her job years ago and has refused to get another since. The other day I asked her why doesn't she get a job, and she told me that her kids need to be taken care of her now. I don't know if this is her version of her kid taking care of her, but I feel it is blatantly wrong. Because he wants to get out of the house and explore and live life, and he doesn't even have money to do that. He doesn't even know how much he receives each month. I don't know how to approach this. I don't know if I should confront my mom. I don't feel like it's my place to do so, but I just feel terrible for my brother. And since she's not working, I know that if I were to report her, she would be down extremely badly. Because I know she uses this money to pay her bills each month. Advice, input, anything. Story 3. Is it unhealthy conflicts or abuse? For context, I turned 18 months ago and I live with my mother and stepfather. I decided to consistently write the incidents in my diary to understand the frequency, and now I'd like to know if they are severe unhealthy conflicts or abuse. Also, I'm not a native English speaker, so don't be surprised if I make mistakes. Please, be sincere. If they are just conflicts, then tell me. Diary 2025, June 2nd. Today, she entered my room, blocking the exit and holding the door with her hand so that I couldn't close it. I didn't like it that much, and I asked her why she had come in. She initially gave one reason, but after a while, when I asked her again, she gave a different reason. I started to think that she had come to put psychological pressure and mock me, so I tried to remove her hand from the door and insisted that she must leave. At one point, I twitched, thinking that she was trying to hit me, and she even commented, "Why are you twitching?" As a result, she pushed me hard because of my struggle with her hand, and I pushed her back. Then I started to think that she was about to hit me, and I became irrational. I ran back, picked up a chair, held it against my chest, and started yelling and crying with the words, "Don't you dare touching me." She just said, "See, how aggressive you become." Fortunately, there were no fights, and she simply went back to her room. I overreacted so much, I hate this shit. June 3rd to 4th everything is fine. June 5th to 6th bear in mind, I'm going to very significantly minimize my own behavior here, and you're only going to see the glimpses of my hysterical raging screaming paired with insults. Cause I'm freaking ashamed. Today I got results on my exam. But I didn't want to show them to her yet. And she was insisting that I would look them up. I told her that I'm tired and going to sleep, and that I will show my results to her on the next day. She was continuing to insist, but my stance still didn't change. I can miss the details, but basically she went in my room, lied on a couch and basically said she won't go away until I show her my results, and that if I truly want to go to sleep then I will simply do it. She was also talking in the messenger with my aunt, complaining about how I'm so stubborn and don't show her anything, and probably how she wanted to share the results. I was furious that she decided to deprive me from sleep just to share the results, which, maybe I'm wrong of course, but my confidential information that I should decide when and with whom to share. So I began an argument and was telling her to go away and let me sleep, and that I'm going to show her everything on the next day. She was telling me she can't because, sorry I hate her like heck I can't speak in her phrases, but from what I understood she would just die from intrigue and wouldn't live up to the next day if I wouldn't tell her right away. And with such, in my opinion of course, stupid reason I became furious and began screaming at her to go away. She was recording my emotional meltdown, telling me she was going to send it to her aunt, which she did. She was doing it with such a unamused face, as in, my daughter is so mentally unwell, I don't know how to deal with her anymore, way, such a freaking victim face. I'm to know, maybe it's just projection of my own behavior, but that's how I felt. Then she told me she isn't going to support me financially in anything anymore and that I won't get a coin of money from her. So I yelled her to give me back all the money that was gifted to me and that I gave her to deal with the credit right away. And then she told me how from now on she would take my money, that was my birthday gift, all to her, it was sent on her card, and that it was actually all a gift to her, because if my relatives had truly wanted to gift me money, then they would send it on my card. I became even more furious and basically was screaming that she is a manipulator, that it was all my money and that she's a robber and some other crazy ass shit. I feel shameful to say what it was. And she said, cry then. And she told me I don't own anything in this flat, and that my room is her room actually, that I don't have my own room and, one of the moments that made me batshit furious angry, she said, I'll go in my room to lie in bed then, and mockingly went to lie in my bed. And basically it ended in her telling me she doesn't care about my exam results anymore, be what will be, and even if I will come to her tomorrow she won't listen to them anymore. And when I went in her room, because she was sitting in mine, she came in and began saying that she feels the smell of the poop and for me to get out of her room, basically implying that I smell like a poop. And I went in a bathroom to wash to go to sleep and was crying like heck, and now lie in bed writing this to you. Basically that's how it goes. June 6th to 8th it's the third day after an incident and she doesn't interact with me at all, doesn't even look at me. She simply went in silent treatment. June 9th I oversimplify here and I'm biased, so I'm going to minimize my own behavior, I think. She came in my room with the words, are you mind fucked? Do you know you have an exam tomorrow? I say yes. She again asks me, no, tell me, are you mind fucked? Turn off the lights and go to sleep. I told her I'm 18 and can decide for myself when to go to sleep, and that many people don't go to sleep before their exams. I consider myself more of a booster and prepare everything in the last moment, because due to adrenaline rush I can concentrate better, which is irrational, but I don't care at this point, as this is the way I was studying for my whole life. She said she have heard me saying I'm 18 10 times before. And I told her that if she needs more, then I will tell this to her 11 times, yes, I'm shitty. She says then, in the morning I go to work, and I won't be able to wake you up, so if you will sleep it over, you'll lose your school diploma. I told her I'm not going to sleep it over. She then asked, smiling aggressively, with the sarcastic scorn in her voice, and what were you doing before all these 5 days? Swinging on the swings? That's how you think you're going to take your exams? By the way, did you enjoy your exam results? I said yes. What? I said, did you enjoy your exam results? I again say yes, and that the whole year I was explaining to her that chemistry is hard for me, so the fact that I passed the exam is good. She then began telling me that the only reason I've got such results was because I wasn't doing anything to prepare to exams, which is true, because I found this subject to be very hard and felt I'm not going to improve it significantly, so I didn't really prepare, and was procrastinating instead. She then began comparing me to the girl of my age that took the same exam, and saying that she is from the average school and she has more points than me. Then she began asking me how my results compare to those of my classmates, and how shameful they are. I told her that at least 4 people didn't pass the exam, although I feel like I actually lied and that's simply the amount of people who got less results than me, and we have 30 students in a class. She then added, and you're the 5th from the end, as well as interrogating me and asking who those people were. I told her the names of 2 of my classmates, but I didn't remember everyone. She nonetheless asked, is this how you're going to apply to a university? I said I have enough points to apply to a desired university, and that chemistry results are the last on the priority. She began asking me then, and do you really think I'm going to believe that the chemistry results are the last on the priority? And I told her again, that yes, they are the last on the priority. She asked me sarcastically, how did you learn that? And I told her that the university has a site, and that I downloaded the document, and that the chemistry was last on priority, with 47 points needed. For context, I've got 56. And then she asked, and how do you think your father is going to react to such results? And I said that I have told him already, and that he was happy that I've got enough points to apply. Her face then suddenly filled with confusion and disbelief. And she asked then, but you understand who is going to be chosen in the choice between you and someone who has got 70 points? And I told her, yes, and what? I wasn't going to apply for free, but... Plus I have a variant to go for commercial. Basically I'm lazy and don't remember what was further, but somehow she finally left the room and it all ended. I didn't describe every detail of the conversation, especially the one where she was talking about my laziness, because I feel shameful of that, because it's objectively laziness, so please understand that I'm biased and angry at her, and that I certainly am going to demonize her in my descriptions, although all the words she said were true. June 10th in the morning she was really shitty, but then she came back and is finally nice. I'm to know what to say about it. When I was taking the exam today, I felt stressed and exhausted. But now that I came home I'm calm and relaxed. Maybe it has something to do with her change in attitude too. And I don't feel pain anymore. Maybe it was really due to crying. But overall everything is fine. June 11th to 12th everything is fine. June 13th nothing important. Today my mother has bought some eclairs and shared them with me. We had a talk where we were discussing eclairs. Usually it is my stepfather who buys them and I like the ones he buys more, so I asked where he buys them. She said she doesn't know, after all he hides them from everyone to them himself. I asked if he has a right for that, as it was bought with his money. She said that he lives in the family, and so he is supposed to share it with others, and not only eat it himself. I said that he doesn't consider me to be his family, and this is where I got really upset and disappointed, because she said that it is my fault, because he sees how badly I behave with my mother. And, unfortunately, that's true, and he really hates me for this, saying how ungrateful I am towards my mother, who is the only person who truly loves me and who gave me my life. But even though that's true that this is the reason, I felt like it was again a very backhanded comment about me, when there was no need to make it like that. I'm dunno, maybe I just overreact, especially considering how rude I can be. But aside this one phrase, everything is fine. June 14th for context, I'm an agnostic atheist and my mother is an Orthodox Christian. We are both from Russia. Today my mother asked me if I knew that Israel has started a war with Iran. I said that I'm aware of that, and added that Israel has really gone too far. She agreed and said that US helps them. I said US is doing this because they are afraid of Muslims. She answered that they have no reason to be afraid of Muslims, because they don't live in their country. I said that there are laws in US that prohibit open Muslims from immigration in US, and gave as an example the law about prohibition of polygamy. Apparently she didn't like the fact that I showed empathy towards Muslims and then suddenly began to attack me and sarcastically asked, and do you want that some weird man had another woman with you? I was really angered and disappointed, asked what the heck she was talking about and whether I looked like a Muslim to her. And she answered that I'm an atheist and fools like me are eager to get married with Muslims. I said I wasn't going to marry a Muslim nor anyone religious in my life and that I don't understand where did she even get this. And she said that non-religious people are easier getting brainwashed. I told her sarcastically that she certainly isn't brainwashed at all with consistently believing in conspiracy theories and watching the pro-war propaganda. So I got tired of this conversation, and she told me to prepare for exam. I was angry at her and was sarcastically whining about how I need to prepare to exam, and basically the conversation ended here. June 15th, everything is fine. June 16th. Today my mother has got results on my Russian exam. She was talking with her friend on a phone, the mother of this girl she compared me to. She was discussing me, complaining all the time, calling me a little bitch several times, and said that she was going to have a serious talk with me. I didn't want to have any talk with her, so I preemptively exited the home. She went after me, but I locked the door, so she spent some time trying to open it, while I was waiting for an elevator. But then she nonetheless came to me, asking where I was going, and that she was going to have a serious talk with me. There was a woman here too, waiting for the elevator with me, and the mother told her to enter it. But I entered it first, then the woman second, and we took the elevator on the first floor. Then I entered the trolley bus, got in the seat and began crying. June 17th to 19th, everything is fine. June 20th. My mother made fun of me and the woman on TV, and I told her that she was an adult and that she should stop doing that, and she started acting like a 3-year-old, talking in a strange voice and repeating, I like it like this, I like it like this, what are you going to do to me, what are you going to do to me, fuck you, and so on. Then she came up to me, picked up a frying pan, and said, do you want me to put a hot frying pan on your face? You see, I'm crazy, and even though I knew that the pan couldn't be hot, I was still afraid that it was. Then she walked away and said, were you scared, and called me a schizophrenic. I'm shocked by her actions. June 21st. Today we went to the hairdresser, and before that she called me, our conversation somehow went wrong, and she told me in a pleased tone to let go of my resentments, and then people would reach out to me. Like, so I can forgive her for yesterday? Probably. She said that they would cut my hair first, and that I would be better suited to the hairdresser not exactly at 18:30, but a little earlier, at 18:25. I agreed. I came to the barbershop at 18:27, and I see her already sitting in this chair and smiling, saying to me, I told you to come by 18:25, well, if you didn't come, then wait in line. Yeah, I didn't expect such a plot twist, fuck up. Then she complained about me all the time to the hairdresser, about how lazy, naughty, and blah 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 I was in my presence. And then when my hairdresser, not her, asked when was the last time I washed my hair and offered to wash my hair, she looked at me with an expression on her face telling look how pathetic you are, although maybe it was my imagination. June 22nd, today, everything is fine.